NetCode. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. So today we are going to proceed with the help desk management system. So as you can see, we have our landing page here. This is our help desk management system. We have our sign-in screen. Then you have our email address and password. So if we just click sign in, this will take us to the dashboard. So as you can see, this is our dashboard. We have the tickets, the description, the priority status, created by, created on, the number of comments, and if you click the comments, you're able to see the number of comments, and you can actually add a new comment. So what I want us to do today is I want us to address some of the issues that you've been raising, guys, about editing. So as you can see, we have the buttons to edit, and also we have the deletion button. So I want us to address this particular item and ensure that we have everything in place. So if we just go to cities and click edit, then you'll be able to get these details. So if we just save, then there we have a breakpoint. If we continue, you'll notice that you are getting these particular errors in most of the edit buttons if you are actually following this video and you have actually claimed the source code. So what you are going to do is, when you get such an error, I want you to go to the edit. This is how our edit action looks like. Then remove any binding that is there. So I've removed mine. Remove the is model state. And here, what I want us to do, just go to the city, edit. Then here I want you to copy this particular line here. So here I'll just do Eden. Then here you can say created by ID. So it's missing that. Then here I'll also want created on. So those two fields. So let's just stop our application and we are going to launch our app. So this should be created. So address that particular error. So this should be created by. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to now launch our app and try to edit the cities. So if you're new to this channel and you have not subscribed to our channel, consider subscribing, like the video, and comment down below. Actually, we'll be completing this video to ensure that we covered all the sections. So, and if also you feel you want to buy us coffee, you can always buy us coffee using the link down below. And you can as well claim the source code, which goes a long way in ensuring that we provide you with the best content. So if you go to the cities and say, I want to edit Nairobi, and say this is Nairobi, say updated. So if I click save, then there we go. Which column is null? We have the user ID. Cannot insert value null into column user ID. So if we go back here, we have something on save changes. You remember we were doing audit logs and we need to supply our user ID in everything that we are doing. So let's just try. So if you edit and now save the changes, we should now be able to save the details of our application. So let's just launch our app and see. So we're going to update all the edits sections to ensure that we have our application up and running, and also the deletion to ensure that we can delete some of the records. So if I just go to cities and say edit, this is Nairobi, I'll just do updated. And I say save. There we go. So you see Nairobi has been updated, and here we are saying save, and we can actually say latest. So this is, so you can also now remove. Let's just remove this, and also we save. So if we save, you'll notice that we now have our Nairobi there. So if we click delete, this is how it looks like. So if we say delete, you'll notice that it is also not deleting. Reason being, it needs to save changes with our ID. So if we go to delete confirmed, we need to pass our user ID here. So this is the reason as to why we added the audit trail. So every time we are going to update or delete the record, we need to ensure that we pass the user who is logged in. And I'll be showing you, instead of duplicating this, I'll be showing you how we can make this a bit simple. So let's just relaunch our app again and see. So if I just launch our app, we should now be able to delete a record and as well update our cities. So we are going to do this across the modules to ensure that we've covered everything and you have not left anyone behind. So on our next video, we are going to enhance this application, and we are going until we also do some exports in Excel and even in PDF. And the most important thing that I know you guys are waiting is actually the roles management. So we'll be doing the roles management. So I don't want to do it now because I want you guys to follow. That will be our last and the final thing in this this application. So I'll just do here, go to delete, and if we say delete, then you'll see our record has been deleted. And if you go to audit logs and go to check on the delete, let's just search delete action. So we should be having a delete action here. You see, we've deleted this particular record called city. But if I go to details, you'll notice that I have the old value. This is the value that had been deleted. And you can see I have this is the deletion. So I have the old values that had been deleted. But if you go to the update, that is update for the city, you'll notice that you have some entries here. So we have the old value, the new value, and the affected columns. These are the columns that we updated, and also the ID. So that's how our audit trail works. So if we go back to cities, we can now add a new city. We say maybe Uganda, Entebbe. We just do this, the code, and we say here, this is Entebbe, Uganda. And if you create, then you're able to check that. And you see we have a spelling mistake here, so we can actually edit. So if we say Entebbe. So I don't know if that is the correct spelling. So if you save, then we have all the details there. The next thing we can do is for the countries as well. We can edit our country. Then if we save our country, then you are getting this particular issue as well. And it is actually created by ID. So that's created by ID is going as null. So we don't need to modify because we need to have those values whenever. So we just go back and copy this, and we are going to duplicate it here on our edit countries as well. So we are going to paste it here. So the reason as to why we are adding this here is actually whenever we post back our data, we need to have this data, and we are not allowing users to actually key them in. So we are actually trying to provide this. So we are actually trying to ensure that these values are constant. So we'll be using our view model in the next video, and you're able to see how we can play around with this data. So let's just update. So if we update our application and we go back here, we should now, so let's just wait. So if we click update, you see our update is now working. So if we just do edit and we say Germany updated and we save, then you see our Germany updated is here. So we are able to do that. For the deletion, if we click delete, we will be getting an error. So we go back to the countries controller. That is the countries controller, and you need to supply the user ID when deleting. So the reason as to why we have this is now to ensure that our audit trail also work, and we are able to track the person who deleted our record. So we are able to do that. So let's just proceed. So you can imagine the audit logs, how it will be tracking all those particular entries. So you'll be having a lot of entries, and you can actually check the previous record that was deleted, what is the current record. And also on this particular part, we'll be also looking at how you can restore a deleted record. So we'll actually be checking that on this particular series. So whenever a user deletes a record, how can you revert it back? So you can actually revert it back, and unless there is yes. So let's just proceed here. So for the countries, if we go to delete and now say delete, our record will be deleted. So you can see we have deleted one of the record, and we can edit Kenya here. We remove the updated keyword. Then if we save, then our record is deleted. If we go to settings, it's the same case. So in settings now, we need to remove this. You see this created by, created on, and modified by, and modified. We should not allow users to choose them. So you should always remove them. So let's just go to settings. So I'm going to settings and edit. Then I'll just remove created by and created on. So So I'll do away with this. I'll also do away with this. I'll do away with that. So here we need to now borrow the created by that we have just copied here. So I'll just paste it here for now. I'll just do this way. So if you're getting this particular challenge, you can always add this here. Then if we do that, if we go to settings controller, we need now to update the user who created it. So here we are going to update the edit. You see, we are supplying the save changes, but you remember we need to have the user ID. Then the other thing is on the deletion, you also need to have the user ID. So you're adding this on the delete confirmed action. Then I'll just update it here. So if we now proceed, we are going to launch and see. So we are going now to save the changes and we can edit settings without any particular issue. So if you are new to this channel and you like what you have been doing, you can subscribe, comment down below. We notice 90% of you guys are watching our videos and you have not subscribed. So consider subscribing so that you also help us to reach more of the audience and also grow our channel. So if we go to settings now, we should now be able to edit the password. You see here, see these password expiry days. So you can say password expiry days. So we just do days and I save. Then I should be able to see, you see, this is password expiry days. I can also update the number of days here. So I'll say maybe, let me update for the ticket. I say ticket here is, may say 10. So if I save, then my ticket is updated. So I can add another setting. So assuming I want to add another setting for account being locked, account, so password change, let's say password, when you should change your password. So you can actually enforce this as a setting. So you can say password change days. So how many days someone should be logged in and they can change the password, you can provide that. So you can see you're getting an error when creating. So that means when you're creating, we need to supply the user ID. So let's just go to create action. You see here, we need to supply this user ID here. So, and the reason, some of you might be wondering, why do you need this? So we modified our save changes async. So if you go to our application DB context, we actually modified our save changes async to ensure that we supply the user ID. But for those who are, if you don't want to track the audit trails, you don't need this. You can just do save changes and it will work. So the reason we have that is to ensure that you're actually tracking the user who are actually doing the activity and all these particular items in audit trails. So let's just relaunch our app and see how that works. So I'm going to relaunch the app. So these audit trails will actually be logged every time you do anything in our application. And if I just open for you guys now and you're able to see the kind of data that you have been logging in. So you can see here, we have these particular entries. So if I go down here, we'll be able to see on the database, sorry. So we have these particular entries and it's actually in a JSON format. So you see, these are all the entries that you are logging. So you can see now you are able to see the affected columns, the new values, and also the old values. So this is how our database looks like. So if you go back to our app, I'm going to sign in. Then on our app, we now have settings. So we were trying to add a new setting. So this is a password change. So I'll say password change. So I'll also do here password change days. So I'll say days. Then here I'll say maybe 20 days. So if we create, then you can see now our password days is there. And if we say delete, so if I say delete password change days, I can actually delete that particular record. So let's go to system tasks. It's the same thing, edit. So if we save, are we saving? You see, we have the error. So we should go back to the edit and we need to borrow this particular properties here. Then we need to add it on our system tasks. So I'm going to add it on the edit system task. I'll just add them here. And if we do that and update our app, we should now be able to save our changes. So let's just wait and see if our application will work. There we go. So if we save changes, you see it's working. So let's edit one and say maybe, and we actually need to change this. You see it is parent and then we have the numbers. So we should change this to the naming. So let's go back to our controller, system task. Then I'll just go back here and edit. On the edit, for the parent ID, you should do name. Then this is what is it? I think it's on edit. Sorry. So here, you see it is displaying the ID. You should do here name, and also down here you should do name. So that will ensure that you have your name instead of numbers. So users might not understand that particular language. So you should ensure that you provide the drop-down option as names, so that whenever they are logging in or updating and doing anything, then they are able to do that in a very good manner without trying to map what does 1 mean, what does 2 mean. So if you sign in here, so I'm going to proceed here with the countries or system tasks. So this is the system task. If I do here edit and update, you'll notice that now our update is working. So you can also do delete. So I don't know if our delete under controller, we need to ensure that we supplied the delete user on our delete confirmed action. So here you need to ensure that we supply this here so that it works. So those are some of the changes that you should actually be doing, guys. So I'm going to sign in here, and then let's just check what is going on. So if we go to system task and now try to delete, so let's try to delete one of the action, which is this one. So if I say delete, then you see it is not deleting. The reason for that, so you will notice that this is not deleting because this is actually linked to another record. So you can only delete a parent, you cannot delete records that are linked or that they have been referenced. So if we delete this one, so that will delete, yes. So you can see that is okay. So for the departments, you can also edit. We need to remove these particular actions. So let's just go to departments, and I'm going to remove the created by and created on. This should only be added by the application and not us. So let's just remove all this. There we go. And also we need to add our, you remember the created on and created by, this one? So we need to add them here. So I'll just add them here and hide them. So then once we do that, let's just add also the user ID. Ensure that the user ID is on both save changes. So if I just do that, we have it on our create. So let's just confirm on the edit and also on delete. So on delete changes, we need to have it here. So I'll be having them here. Then that's cool. So if we just proceed now, we should now be able to ensure that our project is working very well. So if you're following this video until this particular point in time, please consider subscribing, like our video, comment down below. And in case you need us to even do projects for you or even reach out in case you want some classes, you can always contact us. So there we go. So I'm going to sign in. Then if I sign in, then go back to the departments. Then here, let's just create another department called testing department, which will delete eventually. Then here I will call testing department. Then if I create, then you'll notice we have our testing department here. Then I am going to edit, and you can say this is testing department updated. So if we save, our testing department should be updated. Reason as to why this is not going through is if you see that is not responding or is just stuck there, you can actually come back to the edit and you'll notice we have this model state. So you can remove this for now, but I'll be showing you how we'll be adding them back using our MVVM pattern. So we'll be using view models, and we are going to return them back. For everything that we need them, we'll be validating them. So let's just go back and see how that works. So there we go. I'm going to sign in. So I'll sign in. And here, we are going to ensure that we have this here. So if we go to departments, then we can edit and we say this is updated. Then if I save changes, there we go. We see this is updated. So I can also delete. So if I say delete, that is deleted. Same case to roles. So you can do here roles. I'll just say edit. And you can see this is not working. So for the roles, I think we had not added these particular actions for deletion and even updating. So that is so for roles, I don't think we'll need the edit and delete. We'll actually be blocking them. So I'm going to leave that for now. Another option is for the system code details. So you can edit that. So if we just click save changes, you'll notice you have the issue with the created by. So we are going to have that added. And in case you have those created, edit and created by on that particular page, so you can always remove them as we have done. So let's just go back to the system code details. Then here, I'll just add this here. So we update that, and you can also check the deletion and even created by on our controller. So you can see for the edit confirmed, this is we have the user ID. Then for the deletion, we need to supply the ID here. So I'm going to add the user ID here. Then I'll just proceed. So if I proceed here and launch, then you are going to now save the changes and even delete a particular system code detail that is not in use, guys. So you cannot actually delete those data that has been referenced. And as we go along, I'll actually be disabling some of the deletion because it's not allowed. For example, the system codes. For auditing purposes, we don't allow that. So I'm actually doing this for those who want to ensure that it's working. So if I just click save, then you can see it is actually saving. But deletion, we are not going to delete some of this data. For the system codes also, I'm just trying to ensure that everything is okay. So you can see this is throwing an error because some of you guys had said that there are actually errors on editing. So then I'm going to update that on system code as well. So here I'll just do system code edit, then I'm adding these particular properties here. So after adding that, we need to confirm our controllers. So I think instead of going back and forth, let's just do it across our sections so that we actually check them all at once because you've now understood what is happening. So I'll just add these changes here. Then if we go back to our edit confirmed, we ensure that also we have changes ID. So the next modules that are pending, so let's just confirm we confirm the ticket categories. So for the ticket categories, delete confirmed is not there. Then we can actually add this here. Then let's go to the ticket categories. So for the ticket categories, we have, where is it here? For the edit section, then we need to add these particular items here. So I'll just add them here, edit, and I'll add them here. Then I'll also go to for the ticket categories, we need to also check on let's just confirm on the delete. I think we've added them. Yes, we have added this. So confirm for the ticket subcategories also. So here we are going to add also the delete. On the delete action, the user who is deleting, sorry. So I'll just let me copy the logged in user ID here. Then I'll just update it here. Then here I'll add this here so that we get there. Then once you do that, you should also confirm if we have the validate. So there we go, we don't have it. Then on the subcategories, we also need to provide this. So I'll just do that for the subcategories as well. Edit, then I'll add them here. So I think that is it. Also on the tickets, that is the tickets, the main module for this particular application for the edit. So if we go to edit, we can actually add them here. And we should ensure that we remove the created by and created on. You see, we have them actually here. So remove these values here. We don't need them. Yes. So once you have that, you go back to the tickets controller and also confirm the user who is doing that. Pass the user ID here and also delete, that is delete confirmed. And you can see here we have this user, we need to supply it here. Then for the editing, let's confirm we have our is model, so I think we don't have it. Then because we have that, then we are cool. So let's just relaunch our app now and try to see. So you can do some updates on the application and see what we need to change. But I think that was the main agenda for today, just doing the deletions and updating everything to ensure that our application doesn't throw errors, because some of you guys have been arguing that there are some errors in editing and also deletion. So let's just go to ticket categories. If you go here now, you can actually update a ticket category. You can see, so we need to remove this created by and created on. Go to ticket categories, edit here. Then I'll just remove this. So I'll just do away with this. I'll also do away with this. So if I do that, then update, then our application should now have few columns, fields I mean, and we should only deal with those fields that are required. So you can see we now have these two. So here I can say network ticket updated, and if I save, then I should be able to get my data. And if you are keen, you'll be able to see that you have a message at the top. So some of the properties on the application, like cities, we didn't have messages. You can see, for example, if we click a city here and you say Kapenguria, and if we save, we don't have the message. So we need to add them. So if you remember previously on our application, when you are adding them, you are actually adding this term data. So if you come to cities, you can actually come here, and after deletion, you can always, even after deletion, you can always add. You say message, you say maybe this is a city, say city details deleted, successfully deleted. So you can say it's deleted. So you can also have it on updating, like here. So I'll just do here, can say here city details successfully updated. So that is it. You can also come here and say for the creation, I can add it here, and I can say city details successfully added. So if we try now and launch and try to create a new city, you should now be able to get messages. And it's good for even applications. Whenever something is happening, you should also alert users and give them alerts to ensure that they are able to see what has happened and how you've some of the things that have been done by the application, instead of keeping quiet. So if we go back to the details and just try to update the cities, so let's just add a city maybe. So you say here, and we say Bungoma. So if we create, you'll notice that we now have a success message. What about if we update? So let's just say Mombasa updated. So if we update and I save, you'll notice it is actually giving us a message, and you can also delete. So let's just delete some of the some of the like this table, and if I click delete, you'll notice that it is giving us the message. So I'm going to leave it there for today, guys. So for those who are watching this channel and you've not subscribed, consider subscribing, as we are going to complete this application and we'll be actually sharing them with you. So if you want to have the source code, you can claim the source code down below, and you can always buy us coffee in case you want to buy us coffee. So I want to leave it there today and see you in our next video. Bye.